Good evening, everybody. We're watching America First. My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes. We have a great show for you tonight. Very excited to be back here with you tonight on Wednesday. We have a lot to talk about tonight, lots to get into. Big show. Our featured story tonight, we're talking all about the Cornell student who applied for a job at a tech startup, found out that he would be working for a couple of Jews, and he promptly messaged them, "I'm not interested in the job. I don't want to work for Jews." Totally reasonable thing to say. I don't know about you guys, but I actually feel exactly the same way. That's like something I would have said. But now he is being hunted by the Jewish oligarch Joe Lonsdale, who you may know is the famous co-founder of Palantir. Ever heard of it? Joe Lonsdale has led the charge to dox this student, get him expelled from his university, and now the Department of Justice of the United States of America says that if he ever gets a job again, they're going to get him fired. All because he said, "I don't want to work for a Jew." I wonder why. Go figure. So you're going to work for somebody, it doesn't work out, and then it leads to the Department of Justice telling you you're never going to work in this country again. I wonder why he didn't want to work for these people. They seem so pleasant and easygoing and understanding and gracious and benevolent and magnanimous and wonderful. And why would anyone have any complaints about that? These people are the best. I love working for Jews, and if I ever have a problem with them, I know it's going to be totally okay. So we're going to talk all about that tonight. We were going to cover it last night, but we ran out of time. We just ran up against a time constraint. Weren't able to get into it. Not in my control. Sorry. So we're going to talk all about that. We're also going to give you an update on the MOU, which will end the war between the United States and Iran. Some major developments, more confusion. Now, where we left off yesterday, we were all under the impression that the deal was signed over the weekend. That was our understanding. They said the deal was electronically signed Sunday night, Monday morning, depending on the time zone. And in spite of the fact that it was already a done deal, we weren't going to see it until after Friday, when a symbolic ceremonial signing would take place in Europe. That is what we were told. We were told the deal was already signed by both parties and it's a finished agreement. However, no one is allowed to see it until this symbolic signing, a completely ceremonial signing, which will take place in Europe. A delegation from the U.S. led by Vance, from Iran led by their parliamentary speaker, Halibaf. And after that ceremony, then everyone was going to get the agreement. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but okay, that was the story. Well, today we now learn apparently the deal was actually not signed over the weekend. It was signed today. Trump was in France for the G7 summit, the group of seven. He signed it at the Versailles Palace and then sent it to the Iranians electronically, who then also signed it later in the evening in their time zone. So it wasn't signed over the weekend. It was signed today, apparently. After the signing today, we have now seen the official text of the agreement. The signing ceremony, which was scheduled for Friday, is now canceled. And instead, the two delegations will meet in Switzerland, but for the first round of formal negotiations in this 60-day extension of the ceasefire, which is contained in the MOU itself. So things are changing very rapidly. There seems to be a lot of confusion. And it's like I said a couple of days ago, it's just hard to know what's even real, who's telling the truth, who's lying, how much of this is posturing, how much of it is even real. Apparently, we were being lied to about the actual mode of the signing itself right up until this evening. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're also going to talk about the actual provisions of the deal. We've sort of already done this. We had it yesterday. It was leaked by Bloomberg. And the other thing I want to discuss is this press conference, which was held by Trump in France today. He said some very interesting things, some common sense, but very interesting things. Among them, he said that Iran is going to have nuclear enrichment for peaceful purposes. He said other countries in the Middle East have it, so why can't they have it for energy? And of course, he's referring to Israel, I assume. He said Iran is going to be allowed to continue their medium-range ballistic missile program. He said Saudi Arabia has missiles. Why can't Iran have missiles? That's just common sense. That's how it's going to work. So it's very interesting. We're getting a little bit of a preview of maybe what these negotiations will look like over the next 60 days for this nuclear program. And it sounds like Iran is going to get everything they want. They're going to get everything. They're going to get all of their assets unfrozen, totaling more than $100 billion. They're going to get a $300 billion reconstruction fund funded by private sector companies, although the licensing and waivers and all of that is going to be handled by the U.S. government. They are going to get to control the Strait of Hormuz. It has been admitted that, yes, Iran and Oman will jointly control the strait, and there's only going to be consultation with the other countries in the Gulf, the Arab countries that we are allied with. And in the end, it's looking like they're going to get enrichment as well. There's going to be no limits on their missiles, no limits on their support for proxies, and ultimately they will be able to have a native nuclear uranium enrichment program for peaceful purposes. So we don't have that final agreement yet, but the way things are looking and the way things are sounding, seems like they're going to get everything they want, and I'm here for it. I don't know about you, but I am here for it. Congratulations, Iran. You fought hard, you left it all on the field, and you won. God bless the Islamic Republic of Iran. And I said it on Twitter, Iran won, Israel lost. So delicious. Laura Loomer was in my replies. She said, Groypers are Islamists. I'm like, well, Jews lose. Groypers are Islamists? Yeah, whatever, bitch. Jews are losers. Israel are losers. Zionists are losers. You lose. Iran won. Thank you, Supreme Leader. On behalf of all Goyim of the world, on behalf of all Gentiles, Americans, Christians, thank you, Supreme Leader, and Iran. You did it. So I love to see it. Sounds like a sore loser to me. Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Randy Fine, Josh Hammer, Laura Loomer. Sounds like a lot of sore losers. I think it's over for you guys for now. So we're going to get into all of it. It's going to be a good show. White-pilled again. America, the great Satan, under the control of Israel, has lost. The Zionist occupation regime has lost. Israel has lost. It's a good day. Sadly, though, I don't know if this is the end of it just yet. I mean, we'll see. We don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, but we're going to get into all that. Before we do, I want to remind you to smash the follow button, smash the like button, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the show. Check out our merch store at Fuentes.store, spring collection. If you want to support the show, subscribe at AmericaFirst.plus. $15 a month, you get access to the archive. $100 a month, you get access to the group chat with me. And I was in there today dropping a lot of bonus content, talking all about the MOU, analyzing it in great detail. This is a very developing situation, so it's literally minute by minute, hour by hour. I'm in the group chat giving live updates, live analysis. I think I did about 30, 45 minutes in the group chat today of bonus content and really getting into all of the long-term strategic outlook on how these negotiations are going to go. Because, as you know, this MOU is really just the formalization of the ceasefire. It's an extension. It's not a deal. This is not comprehensive, technical, thorough, or most importantly, final. This is another short-term extension. And in and of itself, it is a major gamble by the Trump administration. So whether and what the peace deal is going to be, if we get one, All of that is an open-ended question. So I talked a lot about that in the group chat today. If you're interested, check it out. $100 a month, AmericaFirst.plus. Okay, with that, we're going to dive in. And I want to start with this story from Cornell because everybody was dying to hear about this yesterday, and we ran out of time. I chose to save it for tonight. So I do want to get to it. I want to do it justice. So our first big story, it's all about this Cornell student, and I'm not sure how many of you have heard about this. It went semi-viral a couple of days ago, but I don't believe it got a lot of coverage in the mainstream press. And for those that missed it, there was the story from this weekend about a 19-year-old student at Cornell University. His name is Austin Franco. He applied for a job at a tech startup. Seems like he got the job. And then on the Handshake app, which is what he used to communicate with the employer, he messaged his two Jewish employers that he was actually not going to take the job in the end because his employers were going to be Jewish. He said, I don't want to work for Jews. And so he didn't take the job. Now, his two employers, and the main one goes by the name of Einhorn, went on social media, and they said they were shocked and disturbed at this anti-Semitism. They said, we had a prospective intern, an applicant, who got the job but turned it down because he didn't want to work for Jews. Initially, they left the name of the applicant anonymous. That is until the billionaire co-founder of Palantir, Joe Lonsdale, intervened on Twitter. Joe Lonsdale tweeted at the co-founder of the company that he is being a, quote, weak Jew, and that the only way Jews are going to triumph over everybody is if they stick together. He said the only way any people triumphs is when they stick together. He said, be a strong Jew. And encouraged this employer, Einhorn, to dox the student, which he then did. So the student was doxed, obviously is no longer working for this company. Immediately, he's under investigation by Cornell University and might be expelled. Later in the day, Leo Terrell, the anti-Semitism envoy at the Justice Department, tweeted that if this student gets a job anywhere else, that you should let the DOJ know because they will see to it that he gets fired from any job he ever gets. All that over this comment. And this is a story, this is from the New York Post. It says, quote, a Cornell University student who applied for a summer internship with a Jewish-owned New York City startup rejected the opportunity with a hateful message. He said, quote, not interested in working for a Jew. Austin Franco put his anti-Semitism on full display when he passed up an interview from Viral Full ID. I don't know how to pronounce that. Because its co-founders, Gabe and Aiden Einhorn, are proudly Jewish. Franco delivered the message to both brothers via job board site Handshake after applying for a summer role at the company, which pairs renters with landlords and verifies their identities to prevent fraud. Gabe Einhorn told the Post that he felt obligated to share the message to raise awareness of growing anti-Semitism. Always raising awareness, right? Always got to raise awareness about anti-Semitism. Initially, he blacked out Franco's name out of graciousness, but commenters quickly revealed his identity. Gabe said, I felt bad exposing him because I thought he could have made a mistake, and he really doesn't believe this wholeheartedly. The student, who hails from Virginia, doubled down in an X post shared the next day. He said, quote, my experiences with Jews have not been pleasant, both in person and online. This is not to say I haven't had positive experiences, but on the aggregate, that is not the case. Cornell, where Franco studies industrial and labor relations, according to his since-deleted LinkedIn profile, is investigating the incident. He sent the disgraceful message on Monday, about a month after Cornell's semester ended. Now, let me just say this at the outset, okay? This is me being a responsible elder statesman. I've been doing this for 10 years. I know what I'm talking about. I just want to be very clear. This is not a good idea. And I have made it clear to my followers over the years to avoid doing things exactly like this. Don't do this. If you are a teenager, if you are a 20-something, trust me when I tell you, this is not cool. It's not funny. It's not edgy. You're not taking a stand. This is incredibly reckless and self-sabotaging. If you want to fight the good fight on behalf of Gentiles, Christians, white people, Americans, you need to understand our fundamental political reality, which is that we do not have any power right now. White people are not organized. They have no political consciousness. The only way that we will ever fight against Jewish power is first, we have to have some semblance of a we to begin with. You understand? If we are to go out and fight against Jews as an organized group who have taken over our country and have all of this power and influence, as Jews, we as whites first need a conception of racial solidarity, that we are a people, which we do not have. There is not even a we. So a lot of people like to skip ahead. They put the cart before the horse, and they like to say things like, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to get together. But this presupposes a political consciousness that does not exist yet. There is not even a we yet. When you say that, I don't know what you're talking about. We who? We, the Twitter posters and reply guys and followers, there is no we. As of right now, unfortunately, we're in a very primitive state politically. So first there needs to be a we, then there needs to be organization, and it has to happen clandestinely, secretively, underground. And only once there is a viable political movement of people that are aligned and conscious and positioned in positions of power, only then can we act. We cannot act in the world politically until there is a we itself. There must be a political movement first, and only then can the political movement act in the world. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. Now, in order to do that, people that subscribe to our ideology need to gain positions of influence and power. What we need is resources, institutional infiltration, power. We need people that think like us to have professional skills, to have influence over society, to have billions of dollars, to have groups of people that we can call upon to help us and do projects in the real world. And the only way that people that think like we do can get in positions like that is if we infiltrate over a long period of time. So people like us need to get into the best schools, because the best schools unlock entry into the most powerful institutions. And once you are in the most powerful institutions, then you can make the most money. Then you can become the best in the world at something, like being a lawyer or being a software engineer, a developer, an entrepreneur, whatever. You'll learn how the world works and you'll become a master of it. And only then can you be useful in a political movement. But what this person did here, and listen, I understand how he feels. I get it. I was his age at one time, and I understand how it is. We're all frustrated. We all want to vent our frustrations. We all want to say how we feel. But all this person did, this student, is took himself out of the game. By saying this at his young age, before he has any money or influence, it has probably precluded him for a very long time from making any real progress in his life. He has effectively given himself this scarlet letter, and he's dug a hole for himself that he's going to be digging his way out of for a very long time. How is this guy going to get any opportunities in the future? He's going to be apologizing. He's going to be begging. He's going to have to go to people and say, please, can you vouch for me? I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm a good guy, whatever. That's if he wants to play the game. Otherwise, not a lot of opportunity. Because where we are politically right now is the Jews are cornered and they're afraid. And when they're afraid, they lash out. And when they lash out, they get paranoid. And they start looking for anybody that is not absolutely loyal to the Jews. And so they're looking for signs of disobedience, disloyalty, and then they're going to punish it accordingly. So this is a time when we need to blend in. This is a time when we need to be careful and not give them any excuses to put a red mark on our applications or next to a name or put our name on a list. So it's not smart. Don't do this. And by the way, would you say this in any context anyway? If you got hired by a black person, would you say, I don't work for black people? I mean, what's going to happen to you? If you got hired by a woman, would you say, I'm not going to work for a woman? You might very well believe that, and you might very well think that and feel that way, and you could even turn down the job. But you don't say it. Because if you say it, it turns into some DOJ fucking civil rights thing. If you say it, it turns into a human resources complaint. You don't say these things. You can't right now. It's too hot. Leave that to me. And I'm serious about that. Look at everything I've sacrificed to talk like I talk. Let me say those things for you. That's literally my job. I am your voice. I have people showing up at my house with a gun. I got debanked and doxed and the rest of it. I paid the price to say these things. And that's my job. Now, I can't do other things. I can never go to Cornell. I'm probably not that smart. I can never work at some big tech company or law firm because of who I am. I probably can never run for office because of things that I've said. So I'm doing my part. I'm playing my role. I paid the cost to do my thing. I paid the cost for you to do your thing. And the cost that you're going to pay is you're going to shut the fuck up and you're not going to say things like that. And you're going to go to Cornell and you're going to get a really good job and you're going to make good money and have a beautiful wife and kids. And you're going to make a difference in your own way. Everybody has to make their sacrifices. I made mine. You need to make yours. I made my sacrifices to do this job. You need to make those sacrifices to do your job. And everybody needs to do a little bit of growing up and understand that that's how the game is played. I think about that all the time. I know people that are in law school. I know people that are investment bankers. I know people that are tech entrepreneurs. And they all love my show and they all wish they could talk like me, but they can't. Because they're pursuing money or political power or other forms of influence. That's the price they pay. I can never do what they're doing. That's the price that I pay. Okay? So I just want to say that at the outset. It's not wise. And I encourage all of my young followers, if you're a young white man or any American for that matter, if you're a young Christian, if you oppose the occupation of our country and you're a freedom fighter and you're a young person, get good grades, become a weapon. Your mind is your greatest weapon. This is the modern era. We're not going to be fist fighting these people in the streets like it's the 20s or like it's medieval times. Your mind is your greatest weapon. So you need to cultivate a sound mind. Read books, educate yourself. Become conscious. Educate yourself about our history, about our religion, about our culture. Learn who we are. And then get into the best school that you can. Make the most connections. Rise to the top of a social hierarchy and start your own projects. Figure out how you can shift the balance of power in our favor in your own life. That's my advice to all the youngsters. Okay, with that being said, what is this story really about? Well, it's not about that some kid said something dumb to his prospective employer. That's not the story. Because honestly, so what? He's 19 years old. 19-year-olds say things like this on both sides. 19-year-old left-wing people say stupid things. 19-year-old right-wing people say stupid things. And it happens all the time. Things that are impolite, things that are politically incorrect, things that are offensive. And so how should this have been handled? Well, realistically, the employer should have just said, this guy's a jerk, and thrown his application out. And who wouldn't? If you're a Jew and a guy that you hired said, I don't work for Jews, then you say, well, screw this guy, and you throw his application away. That should be the end of it. But what happens next is it turns into an anti-Semitic incident. Really? That's an anti-Semitic incident? It turns into now a thing. But it doesn't even end there. Then a billionaire worth $3 billion, the co-founder of Palantir, Joe Lonsdale, enters the mix and actively encourages this employer to dox the student. And I'm going to read the conversation to you. Joe Lonsdale replies to Gabe Einhorn, the employer. He says, afraid to show his name? Either this is fake or you're an utter coward. Which is it? This is a billionaire on Twitter. Think of the power imbalance. A 19-year-old student who's probably sitting in his dorm room says, LOL, I don't work for Jews. The billionaire co-founder of Palantir is on Twitter saying, dox this kid or you're a coward. Gabe Einhorn, the employer, replies. He says, yup, I made a fake AI message from Handshake. You caught me. Or maybe I just don't want to expose his whole life. But clearly people want to see that happen. Typical response, though, to say it's fake. To his credit, that's actually a reasonable response. That's actually a pretty mature and responsible and reasonable and benevolent response to say, you know what? This is a troubling thing that I'm reading. It is indicative of some social undercurrents that as a Jew, you might find problematic, that young people have these attitudes towards Jews, but he's probably a kid. Maybe he didn't really mean it, and you don't want to blow up the guy's life. You know, that's actually the kind of sentiment that endears people to Jews. If Jewish people acted that way, maybe there'd be a little bit more charity towards them. Because that's a pro-social, magnanimous way to behave. We are all living in a society together, like it or not. Jews and non-Jews have to share this country, and maybe they don't like it and maybe we don't like it, but that's the arrangement. And if there is some charity, if there is some, let's say, graciousness that's afforded to one another, I actually think that goes a long way towards mutual respect and understanding. To say, even though you said something against my people, I am going to take it on the chin and I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. That actually goes further towards muting tribalism than the opposite, because it says maybe we can get along despite misunderstandings or real bigotry. That's actually a nice message. Well, the billionaire who co-founded Palantir replies to this magnanimous message. He writes, quote, no, Gabe, you are being weak. If somebody does this, they deserve consequences. The only way a people prevails is with strength. Be a strong Jew. Don't be one of the weaklings that reacts in a way to get us attacked more. Be a man that makes them afraid to attack your people. This is a billionaire talking about a 19-year-old college student. This is a billionaire venture capitalist who co-founded one of the most valuable tech companies in the world, saying, you need to show strength against a 19-year-old college kid. Don't be weak, be strong. The only way Jews can prevail is if this 19-year-old college student gets annihilated from orbit by a billionaire. This is totally insane. What kind of billionaire thinks like this? This This is somebody worth $3 billion that, by the way, is in the tech defense industry. He's making software that is used by the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, Social Security, the Treasury Department. He regularly liaises with the most rich and powerful people in the world, and you need to crush a teenager because he said he doesn't want to work for Jews? It's the equivalent of like a shit post on Twitter, and a billionaire wants to ruin this guy's life? This is the definition of unhinged, deranged, bloodthirsty, and let me tell you, this is how these people think. They have no mercy, no scruples. They are ruthless. This is a window into the mind of the most powerful Jews. Now, not every Jew thinks like this. Obviously, not every person thinks like every other person in the as a member of their particular group. Not every black person hates white people. Not every white person hates black people. Not every Jew thinks like this. However, some of the most powerful Jews in the world think like this. Actually, you could say maybe most of the most powerful Jews in the world think like this. The message, again, he says, you're being weak. The only way a people prevails is with strength. Be a strong Jew. Don't be a weakling that reacts in a way that gets us attacked more. Be a man that makes them afraid to attack your people. So who are Joe Lonsdale's people? Who are Gabe Einhorn's people? Well, maybe this is a foregone conclusion, but he's not talking about Americans. He's not talking about Westerners. He's not talking about white people, which Jews sometimes say they're white. He's not talking about Europeans here. He's not talking about people of Western civilization. He's not talking about Christians because he's not a Christian. He's talking about Jews. He says the only way Jews will prevail is if we make non-Jews afraid of us. We Jews will only prevail if we make non-Jews afraid. And the way we make non-Jews afraid is we punish them for attacking us. How were the Jews attacked? Well, a 19-year-old college student says, thanks, but I would not like to work for Jews. That is an attack which must be punished by billionaires for the Jews to prevail. Now, there's a couple of things to say about this mindset. First, it is totally histrionic, totally paranoid, delusional, over the top. Think about how psychotic you would have to be a billionaire and feel threatened by a college student. So the first thing you say about this mindset, this like berserker Jewish mentality, is they see threats to their existence everywhere. They think everything is another Holocaust. Everything is another pogrom. Everything is another Roman Empire, another Inquisition. It's another anti-Semitic attack. Think about it. A 19-year-old college kid somewhere in Virginia texting his boss, I don't want to work for Jews. Who knows if that's even serious? Like I said, teenagers say a lot of nonsense like that. And a billionaire that runs one of the top 10 most valuable tech companies in the world, their top customers are the biggest intelligence agencies in the world, that kills people for a living, is saying, oy vey, a threat to my existence. We have to crush this guy. And the way he's talking to this employer, don't be weak, be strong. Are you a coward? Dox this teenager. That's how they think. Think about how white people think. White people, when a white person's daughter gets raped and dismembered and disposed of in the forest, they say, I forgive him. It wasn't about race. We're all human beings. When a white person's son gets stabbed in the heart at a football practice, he says, it isn't about race. It's a human being thing. And it's such a shame that these things happen. That's how white people think. White people are literally being replaced systematically. White people are being stabbed in the heart. They're being shot in the head. They're being raped and dismembered. 11-year-olds in the United Kingdom are being raped to death by Pakistani grooming gangs. And white people say, it isn't about race. We just love everybody. We just have a problem with the bad people, even when it comes to Jews. White people are tripping over themselves to say, it's not about Jews as a group, it's the Zion. It's not about that. There's no blood guilt, etc., etc. But somewhere, in some way, a white person, no matter how old they are, says, I don't want to associate with Jews. It's an attack on their existence. It's another Holocaust. Call every billionaire you know and make sure this guy never makes a living ever again. There is a ruthlessness, a paranoia. They're histrionic. There's no charity. They don't love us like they love themselves. Christians would say, we turn the other cheek. We forgive. We love our enemies and pray for them. We know that they don't really know what they're doing. Even those that persecute us, we still will the good for them in spite of the harm they might do to us. That's what it is to be a Christian. And in some sense, it's what it is to be European. That's why Europeans were the ones that evangelized the world under the Christian religion, because that's sort of always been in our spirit. But the Jews are not like this. The Jews have real hatred for us, something that we can't comprehend. It's the same hatred they have in Gaza. When they say they're Amalek, don't spare the children, don't spare the women. They're all guilty. They all voted for Hamas, so they all deserve to die. There are no innocents in Gaza. They should all be destroyed. What did Jordan Peterson say? Give them hell, kill them all. It's a level of hatred we cannot comprehend. Christians can't comprehend. In some sense, liberal white people cannot comprehend this. It's an us versus them tribal mentality, a real tribal mentality, where they say, we are a tribe, they are the enemy, we need to literally erase them from the planet. And that mentality is alive and well in the Jewish community, and it lives in people like Joe Lonsdale. And it lives in people like Barry Weiss and Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin and Josh Hammer. You can see it all the time. There's an anger beneath the surface. There's a real hatred. They hate us. And more than that, they identify anybody who stands in their way as the enemy. What I mean by this is, you might say that if there's a legitimate Jew hater out there that, let's say they really want to eradicate Jewish people, and Jewish people then reciprocate this. They want to eradicate those people. You might think that's reciprocal. But understand that the Jews have this mentality that the only way for them to survive is for them to be on top. And so anyone that wants them not to be on top doesn't want them to survive. And anyone that doesn't want them to survive has to be eradicated. That is the logical chain that they follow. I've seen Ben Shapiro say that if you don't want Israel to triumph, then you don't want Israel to exist. Because the only way for Israel to exist is for Israel to triumph against its enemies. And if Israel doesn't exist, then Jews will never be safe. Because if they don't have a country of their own, then they could always be oppressed and snuffed out as a minority in other countries. So if you don't want Israel to exist, then you want Jews to be eradicated. And if you want Jews to be eradicated, then you are their eternal enemy, and everything is justified against you. You're an ontological adversary. And this is how they work out. If you support Palestinian statehood, you have to die. If you don't think Israel has the right to nuke Iran, you have to die. If you think Iran can make a deal that might lead them to getting a nuclear weapon on some timeline, you have to die. Because it follows that if Israel doesn't win all its battles, then Israel can't survive. And if Israel can't survive, then Jews aren't safe. And if Jews aren't safe, then they're going to go. And if they're going to go, then you want them to be eradicated. This is how they think. And so this is why in America, if you are a mere critic of Israel, they want you to die. If you're out there saying Israel controls our government, which they clearly do, well, that might lead to Americans overthrowing our Israel-controlled government. And if Americans overthrow our Israel-controlled government, then Israel might not be safe. And if Israel's not safe, you see how that goes? So this is why they believe there's really no way anyone can ever acknowledge or critique Jewish power, because that interferes with the Jews' self-interest. They are either on top, they either have total primacy, total domination, keep all of their foes in check and powerless and disorganized, or else they're in competition. And if they're in competition, they might lose. And if they lose, then they're done. So this is where they have this mentality that anyone that stands in our way, we're going to eradicate in any way. Anyone that in any way stands in the way of their total domination, total victory, is an ontological enemy, and anything is justified against them. That is Joe Lonsdale's mentality. That is how he thinks. That's one. And then two, and maybe this goes without saying, think about this deep-seated tribal identity. Somebody like Joe Lonsdale, he's the definition of invasion of the body snatchers, skin suit, chameleon. Somebody like Joe Lonsdale will go to a Trump election party and say, I'm white. He looks like a Jew. He looks like one of the most Jewish people you've ever seen. And he'll go and say, hey, we're white too. And he'll be racist and he'll be conservative and he'll say it's about Western civilization and we're all part of the same tradition. But then when one of the white people says, I don't want to work for a Jew, well, then he's a Jew. Then Lonsdale, literally the face mask melts off. He unzips the invasion of the body snatcher skin suit and his true form emerges. And suddenly he says, oy vey, are you going to be a coward? You have to dox this student. He's an enemy of the Jews. He's an anti-Semite. He's going to destroy Israel. All of a sudden, Joe Lonsdale's not as white as the rest of us, is he? Light complexion, light skin, looks European to me, makes racist jokes, supports Trump, talks about Western civ. But what is that? I think I heard from the corner of the room, someone had an anti-Semitic thought. One of the real white people had an anti-Semitic thought. And then suddenly the disguise falls right off. And he is just as Jewish as any of the rest of them. And then it turns into the only way us Jews can prevail is if we are strong. And we have to make our enemies afraid of us. That's what he said. Be a strong Jew. Be a man that makes them afraid to attack your people. You're a Jew. Remember, at the end of the day, Mr. Einhorn, you're a Jew. We have to make them afraid of us. That's coming from Palantir co-founder Joe Lonsdale. Make them afraid of us. Hey, Joe, who's them? Hey, Joe Lonsdale-Steen, if that's even your real fucking name. Joe Lonsdale. What kind of name is Lonsdale? What is your name? Lonsdale-Witz? Lonsdale-Steen? What was your name before you fucking changed it at Ellis Island? We need to make them afraid of us. Hey, Joe, who's them? Who's us? Who is them? Is them non-Jews? And who's us, the Jews? This is somebody that we have entrusted to him U.S. national security. And by the way, Lonsdale is extremely powerful and connected in the defense tech industry. That's what he does. He has a venture capital firm. How many of these military technology companies does he have his Jewish hands in? He's PayPal Mafia. He's a Palantir co-founder. And by the way, they're all like this. Alex Karp, who's the CEO of Palantir, he's like this too. And Josh Steinman, he's like this too. They're all, Jacob Hellberg, he's like this too. All these people that are AI czars, that are working in the White House, that are at Palantir, that are PayPal Mafia, that have their hands in all these different defense tech companies, they all have this mentality. Sean McGuire at Sequoia, him and his Israeli wife and kids, yeah, his wife is Israeli. At Sequoia, which is one of the most prestigious and influential venture capital firms in the defense tech industry, yeah, they're all like this. He's like that too. Sean McGuire is like this. He's butt buddies with Lonsdale. Lonsdale's like this. Millerman is like this. Stephen Miller and his wife is like this. They're all like this. And they who are running our national security, they all have this mentality of the Goyim need to be afraid of the Jews. Why? So that we as the Jews can prevail. Prevail over who? Over us. Is that not disturbing that Larry Ellison, Barry Weiss, Mark Levin, Laura Loomer, Josh Hammer, Josh Steinman, Sean McGuire, Michael Millerman, Stephen Miller, Joe Lonsdale, Alex Karp, they all have this mentality, which is for the Jews to prevail over mankind, us Jews need to make the Gentiles afraid of us. That's the only way that's who is in control over our society. Larry Fink, Bill Ackman, the people that run Wall Street, the people that run tech, the people that run the media, the people that run the government, the people that run the Senate. This is how they think. That 19-year-old had an anti-Semitic thought, destroy him, dox him, don't be weak, show no mercy, crush him. Because our people have to prevail by making the others afraid. Could you imagine if anyone else, could you imagine if a Muslim was in charge of Palantir talking like that? Like, think about it that way. What if a Muslim was in charge of Palantir? What if a Muslim was in charge of TikTok and CBS and CNN and Warner Brothers? What if a Muslim was in charge of BlackRock and Harvard and Columbia and UPenn, and a Muslim ran the Senate, and a Muslim said, we need to make them afraid of us to prevail? Like, what do you think would happen the next day? We would run those people out of town. There'd be pitchforks and torches by evangelicals to destroy every mosque or something. I'm not saying it's justified. I'm saying think about how we consider every other group and what Jews are able to get away with. Think if it was any other race, if it was Chinese, if it was communists, if it was Russians, if it was socialists, if it was the French for that matter, if it was any other group. But because it's them, and everybody's afraid to criticize them, and because of this, everyone's afraid. They have to make us afraid. Fear is their weapon. No one's allowed to talk like this or talk about this. But if it was any other group, we'd have a huge problem with it. So that's the real kicker. Okay, a 19-year-old said something. I don't know that I would say something like that. I don't want to work for Jews, honestly, but I wouldn't say, it's just like impolite. I don't know that I would say that. He shouldn't have said it. Okay, fair enough. But now a billionaire is going to dox him and ruin his life and then self-report on how they think like this. It just gives you a glimpse into the window of how these people think and why they are not our allies. There's a lot of people that think we can be allies with these Jews who are Zionist, and there's some common ground on the basis of Western civilization. You know, some people say, well, at least Barry Weiss is more conservative than Sherry Redstone. No, we can't ally with either of them. We cannot ally with either of them because fundamentally they will always see us like this. They always see us as this enemy to be conquered, this enemy that they need to prevail against, this enemy that must fear them. How could we ever be partners with someone like Lonsdale, who is conservative? I've seen his interview with the Heritage Foundation president. And the guy's pretty conservative, and he's a Trump supporter, and he's like right-wing, and he extols the values of Western civilization. But like he's not one of us. He'll never be one of us. He hates us, and he hates our history. The only parts of our history that he likes are the parts where we were being tolerant of his people's ascendants. He doesn't like Edward. He likes Cromwell. He doesn't like Louis XIV. He likes Napoleon. He doesn't like Khamenei. He likes Cyrus. He doesn't like Philip II. Maybe he likes Franco or something. I don't know. He doesn't like Titus, but maybe like some other Roman emperor. That's who these people are. Okay, they're not our people. Now, with that being said, we just need to recognize as Christians, we're never going to stoop to their level. As Christians, we love them also. As vile as their hatred is, as vile as their racism and bigotry is, Joe Lonsdale is a disgusting human being. He is a disgusting, bigoted, hateful person. And we should never let him claim that. He is a bigot, not us. Somebody that says us Jews need to make them afraid of us, that's a racial supremacist. That's a bigot. That is a pile of shit. That is a hateful, vile, disgusting human being. Lonsdale is a disgusting human being, inside and out. Hideous, inside and out. We as Christians can never stoop to his level. We as Christians love him. We will him towards his own good, and his good is in accepting Jesus Christ. The good for Joe Lonsdale is in embracing the self-giving love of Christ on the cross, and we'll always wish that for him, and we'll always love him. However, as Christians, we need to take power from people like that. As Christians, we need to take power from hateful, vile, bigoted people like that who would use it to create fear and division and hatred. And we need to take it from them so that we can have a virtuous, charitable, loving, and faithful society. And we're not going to do it in a violent way. And when we do it, people like Joe Lonsdale, his rights will be respected. His dignity will be respected. I don't want him to be persecuted. I don't want him to be hurt or harmed in any way. And I want him to be treated with dignity and respect. If he walks into a shop, I want him to be greeted and served. And when he pays his taxes, I want him to pay taxes like anybody else. And when he goes to buy a house, same story. We want people like him to be treated with dignity and respect, the same respect we'd afford anybody else. But people like that cannot have power in our society. To have a Christian society, to have a loving, charitable society where true freedom under Christ can reign, we can't have people like that in power. People like that, maybe someone like Joe Lonsdale can be a very skilled financial speculator and investor, but he can't have power. He can't have power over us because we see what these people do when they have power. They abuse it. They abuse it to hurt people that they don't like. They abuse it to hurt people that are different from them. And that's not okay. So we want a better country. We want a more moral country. And that means that people like Barry Weiss, Larry Ellison, Lonsdale, they just can have no business in the affairs of the state. They can make their companies and they can make their investments, but they just cannot touch government power. They can't be anywhere near it because they can't handle it. So, and because you see this, if Joe Lonsdale was president of the United States, he'd be killing anybody that criticizes Jews. You could have no freedom under somebody like that. You can have nobody can have anything under a person like that. That's despotism. That is an authoritarian, despotic personality. Somebody like that, you would never have freedom of conscience under somebody like that. He says, our enemies must be afraid of us. Well, how do you make somebody fear them? Violence, ignorance, suppression of knowledge, suppression of freedom, of rights, violence and intimidation. That's the only way that one person's afraid of another. So that's literally who these people are. They reign through fear. They reign through violence, wickedness, violence. These are wicked people, and they just have to have their power taken from them. So that's the grand irony, is they use this language. They say, you're the neo-Nazi, you're the bigot, you're the hateful one. When in reality, they are the ones full of hatred. They are the power-hungry, money-grubbing, hateful people that basically want to accumulate all the resources, all the levers to suppress all their challengers using any means to do so. That's them, not us. What do we want? We want Christmas again. We want people saying Merry Christmas. We want respect, decency, charity, love and understanding for the other, for the stranger, for our adversary. That's what we want. What you want is to kill everybody that disagrees with you. It's insane. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, people like Joe Lonsdale are a civilizational enemy. They are as bad or worse than people like Hassan Piker. They're as bad or worse than ISIS terrorists that want to come here and kill us. Because the difference is, if an ISIS terrorist comes here, at least an ISIS terrorist, or any terrorist for that matter, they're going to eventually avail themselves to you. They hate you and you know it. People like Lonsdale, the sickening thing about people like Lonsdale is they get in your face, they wrap their arm around you, and they pretend to be your friend. They say, hey, we're Judeo-Christians. We're all in Western civilization. We're all white. It's us against the left. In reality, they hate you. And they have a dagger pointed at your throat the entire time. That's actually the far more worrisome foe. So we as Christians, we as the true inheritors of Athens, the true inheritors of Western civilization, we have to protect ourselves. We have to develop our own identity. No, we are not the same. Plato, Socrates prefigured the gospel. And Christ brought the New Testament. If you don't have that, the New Testament is in Greek, bitch. Okay? If you don't have the Christ, you're not part of Western civilization. There ain't no Athens and Jerusalem without Christ. Athens and Jerusalem, pal, has a name. It's Jesus Christ. If you don't have that, you're not part of the tradition, pal. Sorry. These Straussians like to say, it's Athens and Jerusalem. Yeah, he has a name. It's Jesus Christ. And if you're not with that, you ain't on the team. So we have to take care of ourselves as Christians, as Westerners, as white people, as Americans. We have to protect ourselves from these people that want us to be afraid. I only fear God. I don't fear Joe Lonsdale. I only fear God. And that's how we have to be. So anyway, I feel sorry for the student. He should not have done that. But I get it. I understand. I mean, look, in the end, can you blame him? He said, I don't want to work for Jews. And then a billionaire tried to kill him. A billionaire tried to ruin his life. And then the Department of Justice said, if he ever gets a job ever again, tell me so we could get him fired. Oh, and I wonder why no one wants to work for Jews. And I'll say this much. I really believe there are Jews out there that don't feel this way, and they need to speak up. There are Jews who understand, and I'm going to say this as a Gentile that understands, where this is going is not good for anybody. It really isn't. Jews are engendering a lot of hatred right now. And I understand if you're a Jew, I get why you would not be happy about that. Let's just be honest. Can we just be totally honest? Because of what Israel is doing and because of what Jewish leadership is doing, a lot of people are starting to hate Jews. It's just true. People are starting to blame Jews for everything, things they're guilty of, things they're not guilty of. There are a lot of anti-Jewish attitudes right now. Can we just say that's true? And if you're Jewish, even if you agree with some of it, you're not feeling so good. Because there's a lot of it. Jewish leadership is engendering a lot of antipathy towards Jews. And I'm sure there's a lot of Jews, they criticize what's going on as well, and they're not feeling so good about it. And I really believe there's a scenario in the future. Look, the Gentiles are not going to be as nice as me. I am actually a loving person, believe it or not. I know I come across like an edgelord or a troll. I'm a big softy. I'm a lover boy. I'm a certified lover boy. And I love everybody, and I really don't have any hatred in my heart, and I'm a true Christian. So when I say I love Jews and I want them to be respected and have dignity, I really mean that. But the way things are going, not everybody is going to be like me. there will be other people that sound like me, and they're going to be shitting on Jews, and they're going to be criticizing Jews, and they are going to actually hate them. And they're not going to be Christian. They're not going to be sincere Christians. They're not going to be people that are fundamentally decent. They're going to be sociopaths. And whether they engender hatred or not, maybe they care, maybe they don't. Maybe they have real hatred in their bones. Maybe they're ambivalent, or I should say apathetic about the hatred they might stir up and feel no responsibility. That's going to be a problem for everybody. I don't want that to happen. You know, what I desire is that we have a solution, we have let's say a resolution where everybody is respected. What we want is our sovereignty. What we want is what is right. This country needs to work for everybody, not just for Jews. That goes without saying. And Jews that want to prevail over everybody else, that doesn't work in an open society like ours, which I actually quite like. It's actually good in some sense to have liberty. It is good in some sense to have a culture, I think, of benevolence and charity and openness. I think that's actually a good thing. But it is being ruined when one group is mercilessly trying to kill everybody and climb on top of everybody's heads to get to the top. So we have a good thing going here. I want to preserve it. And I do think that there is a place for Jews in society. But the way things are going, I don't think the best of each side is going to take leadership here. And by that, I mean, it seems like the most aggressive and belligerent and militant Jews are becoming the loudest voices in the room. And soon it's going to be a lot of hateful people on our side that are going to become the louder voices in the room. I think about a guy like Dan Bilzerian, who's a complete ignoramus. That is the banality of evil. That is somebody that doesn't really understand these things on a deep level. He's cynical. I think he sort of has a darkened heart and a darkened mind. That's somebody you really don't want to deal with. So anyway, so that's just a little admonition. Look, at the end of the day, the Lonsdales of the world can't win. The Lonsdales and the Bilzerians are just going to get everybody killed. So that's that. But I do want to move on. I want to get into the situation with Iran. We don't have a ton of time. We'll talk a little bit about it. Shifting gears, we'll give you a little update on the Memorandum of Understanding. And there's not too much. We have gone over the MOU on Monday and yesterday in great detail. So if you want more of that, the past 2 nights I covered it extensively. We've got some developments from today. And like I said at the top of the show, this whole arrangement is very, very mysterious. What we were told on Monday is that a memorandum of understanding, which is a short-term agreement, had been finalized over the weekend between Iran and the United States. Now, we were told that even though this agreement exists and was signed by both parties and is, in effect, we were told we were not allowed to see it. This was our understanding, and this has been some of the confusion the past few days. There's an MOU, it's official, it's in effect, it's been signed by both parties, but no one is allowed to see it. And so we haven't seen it since. We were also told that even though the agreement has already been signed, that there would be another signing, a fake signing, a symbolic ceremonial signing on Friday in person. And after this signing ceremony, then everybody would get to see the secret agreement. And so this is the most bizarre rollout of all time. Because usually when you're working on a bill that's becoming a law, when you're working on a UN resolution, a Security Council directive, whenever there's a legislative process like this, usually what happens is you get a draft agreement, it gets reconciled, it gets worked on, they finalize it, they vote on it, you see the entire process, and then it becomes final. Well, this is something unlike anything I've ever seen before. They sign the agreement, but it's top secret. They say, even though it's official and signed, we're going to do a fake signing a week later, and it's purely symbolic. And once we symbolically fake sign it, after it's already been signed, then everyone gets to read it. And in the meantime, we're going to lie about what's in it. Both sides are going to come up with their own version of what's in it and try to sell it to the people. But it got weirder today. So that was already weird enough. And people basically accepted, oh, okay, so Vance and the Iranian parliamentary speaker are going to go to Switzerland on Friday. They're going to do this big ceremony. Then we're all going to see the agreement. It got weirder today. So President Trump is in France for the G7 summit. Now they are reporting that he signed the agreement today. And apparently it was not actually signed over the weekend. And now the fake signing ceremony on Friday is canceled. And instead, there's going to be a round of negotiations in its place. So what is actually happening? Apparently, it was not signed over the weekend. They just lied about that. And by the way, all parties apparently lied about this. The U.S., Iran, and the mediator, Pakistan, all on Sunday said the deal is finished. So apparently they all lied. And then both sides released their own version of the agreement that had major discrepancies. The draft agreement was leaked yesterday, and then today they officially signed it, and then both sides put out the signed agreement. Iran posted they signed it today. Trump posted that he signed it today. Pakistan posted that the Islamabad MOU was signed. So they pushed up the fake signing ceremony to today, but this was also the real signing ceremony, which never happened, but which they said it did. Very strange. So this is our new reality. The agreement was apparently signed tonight in Europe. And now Friday, there is still a meeting. Vance and Halibaf, their parliamentary speaker, are meeting in Switzerland, and thus will begin the first round of negotiations in this 60-day negotiating period under the MOU. That's the story. Now, in addition to this, we have also now seen the actual agreement. Today, a White House official got on a conference call with journalists and read out all 14 provisions of the agreement. And we're not going to read through every single one, but these are the basics. It says, first and foremost, there's going to be a ceasefire on all fronts. So that means there's a ceasefire in the Persian Gulf, but also there's a ceasefire in Lebanon, and it contains some very strong language. It says that it upholds Lebanon's territorial integrity and their sovereignty. So what that means is that not only are the U.S., the UAE, Qatar, Saudi, they're going to stop bombing Iran. Iran will stop bombing them and Israel. But also Israel is no longer allowed to bomb Hezbollah in Lebanon, apparently anywhere. Because those words, territorial integrity and sovereignty, what that means is you cannot bomb anywhere in Lebanon. And the reason this matters is because Israel has, for the most part, been conducting ground and air operations in southern Lebanon, which is sparsely populated, these smaller villages in these hilly areas. And they've been doing this every day for like a year and a half, even though they had a pre-existing ceasefire. So Israel has moved forward. They've made these incursions on the ground, taking Lebanese territory. They've also been conducting this huge air campaign. And selectively, they've done about 4 attacks on Beirut, Lebanon's capital, in central Lebanon. Now, I said yesterday, if a ceasefire in Lebanon is part of the agreement, we have to understand what that word is going to mean in practice. Does that mean that Israel can continue to bomb southern Lebanon, but not Beirut? Does it mean they cannot bomb anywhere in Lebanon, but they can remain in their posts on the ground? Or does it mean they cannot bomb anywhere in Lebanon and they have to withdraw on the ground? In other words, how extensive is it? Now, one, we find out that yes, a ceasefire in Lebanon is part of the agreement. So earlier in the week, the Trump administration denied this was the case. The administration said, no, Lebanon is not part of it at all. Now we know that not only is Lebanon in the agreement, but since it says sovereignty and territorial integrity, what that would tend to imply is that Israel cannot bomb them anywhere at all, and they have to withdraw. A country does not have territorial integrity and sovereignty if they have a foreign occupation on their territory, and if they're being bombed anywhere. So that's pretty extensive. That's a huge concession. A major part of the deal also says that there is going to be a 60-day extension of the ceasefire, subject also to additional extensions. And during this process, the U.S. and Iran will negotiate on a number of other things, and they include, one, the diluting of Iran's stockpile of highly enriched uranium. 2, limits on Iran's nuclear enrichment. 3, the eventual elimination of all sanctions against Iran, so that's UN, IAEA, unilateral, primary, and secondary sanctions. The unfreezing of all of Iran's frozen assets in foreign banks, which amounts to over $100 billion. The creation of a $300 billion reconstruction fund to be allocated by private entities in East Asia and in the Gulf. The withdrawal of U.S. forces from the Persian Gulf region, which means that there's going to be no U.S. warships in the Persian Gulf. You had a fleet in Kuwait, you had ships in the Persian Gulf before. Now they all have to leave. And it seems that some of these carrier strike groups are also going to be pulled out of the Arabian Sea. These are all of the things that'll be negotiated over the next 60 days, subject to an extension, and then that permanent agreement will be finalized by a UN Security Council resolution. So most of the big issues are right now up in the air. And by the big issues, I would say that is nuclear concessions in exchange for sanctions relief. We can broadly say that that is maybe the biggest part of this MOU, is it lays out the terms for an extension of the ceasefire for the purpose of more technical, comprehensive negotiations. It says the war is over on every front, and thus begins a more permanent ceasefire, not a permanent, but a more permanent, more formal ceasefire to go on for 60 days, subject to extension. And during this period, we're going to get together and work out all the technical details to create a comprehensive long-term agreement that will be voted on by the Security Council. And the reason that it matters that it's authorized by the Security Council is that who sits on the Security Council? It's the US, the UK, France, Russia, and China. So if it passes the Security Council, that means it has the assent of every one of the P5 nuclear powers, the big adversaries, the big allied powers. And this negotiation will consist in ultimately the big nuclear issues, which is enrichment and Iran's stockpile of uranium. And on our side, the concessions we're going to give are all of these economic and monetary carrots, let's say, the unfreezing of Iran's assets, a reconstruction fund, which is a sweetener, as well as the lifting of all forms of economic sanctions. So that's maybe the biggest part of the MOU. That's like, let's say, the second pillar of the MOU. The third thing, and this also has to do with the ceasefire, is the opening of the Strait of Hormuz. And it says that Iran will begin to open up the strait, and they have to get commercial shipping back to its pre-war volume within 30 days. But they've got 30 days to eliminate all the mines and figure out some procedure with Oman to regulate and manage traffic in the strait. Simultaneously, the United States will end its blockade of Iran's ports with their closure of the Strait of Hormuz. And so that handles the business of getting all the oil traffic back to normal. And these are really like the three big ideas in the MOU. It deals with the ceasefire, the actual cessation of hostilities. It deals with how do we resolve the Strait of Hormuz, opening it up on both sides. And it deals then with this more permanent agreement that will deal with the structural issues, the root causes of the conflict, which is the sanctions regime and the nuclear program. Now, what we need to understand about all this is that, like I've been saying, now that we actually have the entire agreement, we realize it is a total Iranian victory. They get everything, we get nothing. We attacked Iran with the goal of regime change, destroying their missile arsenal, compelling them to give up their nuclear program. We wanted them to give up nuclear enrichment. We wanted them to forfeit their stockpile of 900 pounds of highly enriched uranium. We got none of that. There's no regime change. We haven't degraded their missile arsenal. We have not imposed restrictions on it. We have not destroyed their highly enriched uranium or their nuclear complex. Haven't imposed restrictions on that either. So we have achieved literally none of our objectives. Meanwhile, what does Iran get? Well, they get a ceasefire in Lebanon, so they get Israel off the back of Hezbollah. What does that mean? It means that Hezbollah gets to rebuild. Hezbollah is not destroyed, but they are significantly weakened. What Israel did is destroy their command, control, and communications node. They killed the senior leadership. They destroyed the headquarters in Dahia in the suburbs of Beirut. They killed about 2,000 to 5,000 of their militants, destroyed a significant percentage of Hezbollah's rocket stockpile. But Hezbollah still has about 50 to 100,000 soldiers. They still have about 25,000 rockets. And so if Israel stops bombing Hezbollah and gives them a reprieve, Hezbollah will rearm. Now, the United States is pressuring Lebanon and has talked about bringing Syria in to implement a Lebanese law to disarm Hezbollah, but that may or may not happen. What happens in the meantime is that Israel is not able to forcibly eradicate Hezbollah, or maybe more importantly, annex southern Lebanon to create a buffer zone, which is what Israel had intended to do. Maybe Israel cannot kill 50,000 militants. Maybe they cannot destroy all of Hezbollah's rockets. But what Israel sought to do, and they said it openly, is they wanted to do to Lebanon what they did to Gaza. And what did they do to Gaza? They destroyed all of the Hamas leadership. They destroyed all of Hamas's tunnels and weapons. And then they annexed about 50% of Gaza to turn into a security buffer zone. And what is the purpose of that? It is to prevent an invasion, but also to reduce the amount of Israeli territory that could be hit within the range of Hamas's rockets. And they want to do the same thing to Hezbollah. Most of Hezbollah's rockets have a range of 4 to 40 kilometers. If Israel pushes into southern Lebanon, that means Hezbollah is not forward deployed on Israel's border. It's a much lower risk that Hezbollah could potentially invade, like October 7th, like Al-Aqsa flood. And also, they're not able to hit Israel, most of Israel, with their rockets because they don't have a far enough range. And what this allows Israel to do is resettle their northern border settlements and towns, because those people are furious at Netanyahu. They feel like they, at any moment, could be targeted by Hezbollah, like the South was targeted by Hamas. So, in other words, imposing a ceasefire on Lebanon protects Hezbollah, allows them to regroup, and maybe more than anything, it prevents Israel's annexation of southern Lebanon, which is a huge deal. So that's a major concession to Iran. Additionally, the Strait of Hormuz was open before the war, closed during the war. We had to bribe Iran to reopen it. But we're not getting even the pre-war status quo. As we've talked about, under this MOU, Iran will manage the strait. And what the MOU specifically says is that Iran will jointly manage the strait with Oman, and it says they cannot charge any tolls on shipping until after the 60-day period is over. What that implies is they get to charge tolls on the Strait of Hormuz. So Iran now forever controls the strait. They formally and legally, according to this binding agreement, they now control the strait and can argue they have the right to charge fees or tolls on shipping. So Lebanon is protected from Israeli incursions. Hezbollah is shielded from Israeli attacks and bombing, and Iran gains the strait. Then you have this nuclear negotiation where they have a $300 billion reconstruction fund, $100 billion in assets that are going to be handed over to them, and the prospect of all sanctions being removed. And if there's any indication of how these talks are going to go, today in a press conference, Trump said, if other countries in the Middle East have a nuclear program, then why should Iran be expected to give up theirs? And what that sounds like is he's going to let Iran keep their enrichment program at a low level. So not only are they going to keep their nuclear program, which is what they always wanted, but also they're going to get all the sanctions relief. They're going to get all the carrots without actually giving up the central thing that we were trying to get rid of. So Lebanon's safe, Hezbollah's safe, they own the strait, they keep their enrichment, they're going to have no sanctions, $300 billion for reconstruction, $100 billion in capital coming to them, and unfrozen assets, and they get to charge tolls on the strait to finance their rebuilding as well. No restrictions on their missiles, no restrictions on their support for regional proxies and militant groups. And the regime is intact. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard, this revolutionary Islamic government, is still in power. Arguably, they're more radical, more defiant, more entrenched than they were before the war. They get everything, and what do we get? We are left having to replenish our strategic petroleum reserve. We have 4% inflation. 9 of our bases were totally destroyed. 15 to 20 of them were severely damaged. We are ordered to leave the Persian Gulf. Our military is kicked out. 20% of the world's oil is now under the control of Iran. We pissed off the Europeans because we started this war without them. We pissed off East Asia because they had all these fuel shortages because of our war. Trump is more unpopular than ever. Republicans are going to lose the midterms. We spent maybe $50 to $100 billion on the war. It is an unconditional, unequivocal U.S. surrender, total Iranian victory. And it's like I said the past couple of days, the only thing that is positive about any of this is that maybe it pushes Israel away from the United States. Hopefully this was the last dance. Hopefully this was the last rodeo. And it proved to the whole world Israel pushed the United States into another disaster. It could have been so much worse. Trump said today the reason we ended the war is because we were forced to, because the Strategic Petroleum Reserve runs out in 4 weeks. And in 4 weeks, we got no oil. It'd take another 4 weeks to get oil flowing through the strait again. You have an economic collapse, global economic recession. So Trump said we were effectively forced to end the war because if it went on for another month, it would have been a catastrophe. And this would have been another catastrophe brought to you by Israel. Everybody knows that. Everybody recognizes that. And hopefully the animosity that Israel has created with Trump and Tucker and with Candace and Megyn Kelly and Vance and really the whole population of America, hopefully that is enough to permanently destroy the U.S.-Israel relationship, or at least damage it beyond repair. So I think it's good. I'm happy that Trump is leaving the war. I'm happy that we have this agreement. And I think ultimately it's going to be a good thing. It is a good thing that all of this happened if it means we don't have to deal with Israel ever again. So the real biggest loser in all of this must be made to be Israel. Let this be a learning moment, a teachable moment for America. Let it be an utter defeat for Israel and a total victory for Iran. They deserve it. They fought for it. They bled for it. They deserve it. Tonight, you guys are the champions. So thank you, Persia. Thank you to a great civilization. Thank you, Persia, for saving the world from Israel, saving America from Israel. Now we got to do our part. Iran did the hard part. Now it's time for us to do our part. We got to push these Israelis out of our system and free our occupied nation. And that's that. But we're going to move on. We're going to take a look at our super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say about all this. How much more can we really say about this stupid MOU? Been talking about it every night this week, but you know what? It's a little bit interesting. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. There's some other things to think about. And then Friday is the big meeting in Switzerland. All right, but let's see what you guys have to say. We're going to get into our super chats. Let's see. What do we got here? Before Joe Lonsdale kills me. If anybody kills me, it's Joe Lonsdale. Okay? I don't even know if I want to say that. He would just aura farm off of it. All right. How do I look? Hair's a little crazy, but This new camera. I'm like totally mogging with the new camera. I was looking earlier today, like going into the shadows. Kind of like aura farming if I go where there's like more shadows. I was looking at it earlier before the show. All right. But let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Let's take a look. Okay.
Idaho Grower sent $20. I want to get kinky. I think she'll let me.
So true. Gemini season is upon us, and we're doing it. Gemini season, Iceman season is upon us, and that is happening.
Lamb sent $20. Addressing my super chat from last night. 187 days is how long it would take to watch all of your shows in order.
Oh, wow. That's, dude, 187 days? That's crazy. That's a lot. I may be one of the most prolific individuals of all time. 187 days worth of yapping.
Earl Simmons sent $20. Been with you since the beginning. Posting jump scares of an ape on Telegram is not what this movement is about. Do better.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
SpaceX Lunch Lady sent $25.
Oh, you mean Sneeko. Oh, very good.
SpaceX Lunch Lady sent $25. Excited for Odyssey? Favorite Nolan? Hot take Tenet rocks and gets richer with every rewatch. God bless and stay sharp, Nick.
I was excited for the Odyssey, but not now that they have like Zendaya in it and Travis Scott. It's like, I really did not want to chud out about that movie. I really didn't. I saw Keith Woods. It's like every day with this guy. The Odyssey just named another black actor in it. It's like, bro, who cares? Give it a rest. But he's right. I didn't want to shut out over that movie, but I'm going to have to because it's just getting excessive. It's just gratuitous. When they said that black girl was going to be the woman, I was like, that's crazy, but whatever. When they said Zendaya was going to be in it, I was like, okay. Travis Scott, bro. Christopher Nolan. I mean, come on. What are we doing? So I was excited, but now my excitement is dampened, to say the least. I'm still going to go see it. We're all going to go see it, obviously. But yeah, what are we doing with all these nogs, man? The Nogacy. They should call it the Nogacy because it's all nogs in it. No nignogs in my Odyssey, just whites. There's no nogs in Greece. There's no nogs in 4th century Greece. 5th century Greece. Like, come on now. So, and no, Tenet sucks. Tenet is too confusing. He just jumped the shark with that one. And the lead is terrible. The lead actor is like this black guy, wooden, stiff, terrible actor. Race mixing, disgusting, and too confusing. Inception was pretty confusing. Memento was pretty confusing. Tenet was just ridiculous. It's absurd.
Sing is King sent $20. Most educated? Indians highest earners? Indians most billion-dollar startups? Indians again. Seeth Lil bitch, rolling on the floor laughing emoji. God bless USA.
Nobody is seething about you. No, I promise you, nobody is seething about you.
WWG1 sent $20. Your favorite bands are America, The Killers, and Interpol? Encoded message received. Going dark.
That's a funny joke. Okay, that's actually clever. That's actually quite clever. My favorite bands are Interpol, The Killers, and America. My favorite song is Send Help. That's kind of funny. Okay, well done. W joke. Intelligent
Heart of the Wolf
joke.
sent $50. Entry-level red pill? Really? Well, you didn't mention it while you were praising the WH for hosting a UFC event. Sean Strickland was also banned, and later booted, due to his comments regarding Israel.
Are you going to cry? Sean Strickland was banned because he criticized Israel. This really says a lot about society. Yeah, no, it does suck that happened, but it's like, water found to be wet. A Jew critic was banned from a White House event. Car found in garage.
Happy guy sent $100. My wife is pregnant. At your orders, I have lost 20 pounds and she has gained 15. I've never felt better, but she has never resented me more. Like damn WTF.
Okay, thank you for the big super chat. That's super interesting. Really interesting. We love to hear about your wife. That's fascinating. That's really fascinating. When guys tell me about their wife, it's fascinating. Endlessly when guys tell me about how their wife is doing and their kids are doing, I sit there with bated breath saying, tell me more. Oh boy, my favorite time of the week, when my married friends have a minute to spare to tell me about their home life. You watch Love Island with your spouse? Whoa, then what? What happened next? And then what did she say? Tell me more. Oh, you got to go back to hanging out with her? Okay, perfectly understandable. Have a good one. Oh, my allotted 5 minutes are up? Understandable. Have a good one. Have a good night. Oh, I love that. That's the worst thing about getting into your late 20s. It just feels your parents are getting older. You have fewer friends. It just feels a bit heavy. Have you seen that tweet? I swear I see that tweet every fucking day. You know what I'm talking about? There's like this viral tweet. They're like a viral relatable tweet. I see it every day, and it's like, you're in your late 20s. You have fewer friends than you used to. Your parents are getting noticeably older. Life feels heavier. It's like, stop. I'm not interested in this tweet. Why am I seeing this ad? Why am I seeing this? I'm not interested in this tweet. I'm not interested in being clocked every fucking day of my life. No, but the worst part about getting in your late 20s is all your friends are getting married and then they just start to gradually go away because they all have jobs, because they have to pay for their house, to pay for their fucking wife. And then all they have time for is their wife. All they have time for is work and their wife, and that's it. They will not be playing Fortnite. They will not be playing Dark and Darker. They will not have time to talk to you on the phone for hours to talk about your personal problems. They have no time for you anymore. So suddenly you have to be like that Care Bear in Toy Story 3 and say, he don't love you anymore. He don't care about you anymore. Because it's like your friends are going. Your friends are going. They're all married now. They don't give a fuck about you. They only care about their wives. They only care about their wives. They don't have time for you. They're not on the game anymore. So that really sucks. And then, by the way, then it's like the wife is being brought around all the time. Is that what our lives are supposed to be like? Is like everybody lives with their wife and then we all hang out with our fucking wives? I think I would literally rather fucking die. I think I would rather fucking die. Like, oh, it's just like old times, except all our wives are here. I think I would rather die. What are we going to do? All get together in like our faggot-ass, gay-ass house that our wife decorated? We're going to have like one of those monochromatic millennial gray houses, like a very modern kitchen, and we're all going to sit around and your wife is going to make some bullshit spread and we're all going to say, hey, how's everybody doing? I think I would rather kill myself. Somebody invite John Lyons, if you can hear me. John Lyons, if you can hear me. Come to this dinner party and kill all of us. It's okay, I promise. One of the wives looks out the window. Hey, I think someone's here. He's going to kill us all. Me breathing a sigh of relief. You son of a bitch. Me breathing a sigh of relief. Me, when I leak the address of the dinner party, when me and all my friends and my friends' wives are having tasteful banter, when the killer shows up. I'm like sitting there. I'm sitting there with like a handful of peanut M&Ms, rolling them in my hand while I talk to somebody's wife. Oh no, he has a gun. Me like, oh yes. Thank you so much. That absolute cinema. me eating like me eating a tavern bowl of peanuts and eating like a bowl of tavern snacks. There's a little bowl of pretzels, a little bowl of peanuts, a little bowl of Cheez-Its. Everybody's wives are drinking wine. The guys are talking about sports. Oh my gosh, I think someone's here with a gun to kill all of us. Me, I'm just like, oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. It's about time. Oh, it's about, nobody can live forever. Bring it on. No, I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. That's a very, see, I just love dark humor. That's obviously a joke. Me when the assassin comes to liven up the party and save us all, send us all to heaven. Awesome. Thank you so much. No, but I'm kidding. It's just dark humor. I watched Andrew Tate's emergency broadcast the other day. So fucking relatable. I watched emergency broadcast the other day. Andrew Tate had this clip where he said, he's like, oh, my girl tells me you need to grow up and get married and move in with me. He goes, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm not fucking gay. He goes, and what? Move out of the HQ where we have 3 gyms and a sauna and a pool and video games? You tried it. He's like, absolutely fucking not. I'm like, dude, so fucking true. They could never make me hate you. They could never make me hate you. You have all these like kike-sucking Trump supporters. They go, Andrew Tate is spiritually brown. They could never make me hate you, goat. So true. He goes, my girl is telling me you got to get out of the HQ where we have 3 gyms and a pool and video games, and I'm beating Marcel at Uno. I'm like, so fucking true. That's literally the meta. I want to go to my guy friends. I want to go to my boyfriends. Pause. I want to go to my guy friends and I want to slap the shit out of them and say, guys, we need an HQ. We need to buy a warehouse. We need to build a sauna and a hot tub and a pool and a gym and an LED video wall. And the girls will live somewhere else. That's the only dignified way to live. Increasingly, I'm convinced that is the only dignified way to live. Don't get married with the government. Get married informally. Get married informally and have them live off-site. Have them live off-campus with the kids. But the guys got to live in the HQ. It's the only way. I'm telling you, it's the only way. Because otherwise, it becomes a very grim existence. There will be no Fortnite. There will be no gaming. Otherwise, you just get devoured by your wife. And this is what happens. The married guys will confirm. Some of you guys are saying, that sounds gay. Oh, that's really gay. What, you want to live with a bunch of guys all the time? That's really gay. I know that's coming, but the married guys, they're going to totally agree with me. The married guys that are not fucking coping, that are not coping and seething, they're all going to agree with me. So, HQ, we're building a compound. The wives are not welcome. They can live in a shed in the yard. They could go live somewhere off campus. But we need the war room. The fellas need the war room where it's going to be all business. All about the business. This is what we need. Coffee machine, sauna, hot tub, pool, LED video wall, gym, office. That's what we need. And you could put the fucking kids and the wives in the shed in the yard. Okay, we could build a little house for them and they could decorate it however they want. And maybe once in a while you could have the tavern snacks. You could have your little bowl of pretzels and little bowl of peanut M&Ms and trail mix. It will not happen in the war room. Anyway, this is called a vision of the future. You're not ready for it. It's maybe ahead of its time. You're still attached to the old way of doing things, but that is my vision of the future. It's just the only way it's going to work. Otherwise, we're going to live in hell. Otherwise, we're going to live in female hell. That's just true.
Real Human Being sent $20. What Do You Want From Me by Adam Lambert is one of the best gay songs. Great banger, and feels like I constantly have to say it.
No. No.
Napoleon Bonafide sent $100. Now that end of Iran war is in sight, JD Vance popped out of his hole to do the low-hanging fruit press tour. Too little too late, we see right through it. Confirms everything you've said. Also congrats on finally taking your own side against Sneeko. He's Israel to your American empire.
Thank you for the big super chat. Sneeko is just like a fake bitch, is what he is. He's not like Israel. He's like, I don't know, what would you call him? He's Virgil, bro. He's literally Virgil. Or what? Who else could you say he's like? I don't even know anymore. He's just like Curious George. He's like Curious George. He's like King Kong. He's like Caesar in Planet of the Apes. He's just like, that's what he is.
Fentanyl is good for you sent $2,000. What's up, Nick? I want to connect with you to discuss donor and business related stuff. We have some big things in motion and I think it might be worth a conversation. I'm down to hop on Ford and talk. W Show, W Telegram, and W Twilight Wood.
Okay, well, you know, I appreciate the caption is not doing you a ton of favors. You should have just said no message. But thank you for the huge super chat. I really appreciate it. Whoa, huge super chat. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, man. God bless you. Thank you so much. 07's in the chat. For all the support from Fentanyl is good for you. Well, hit me up. Hit me up on Telegram. If you're in the group chat, hit me up on Telegram or email me or find a way to get in touch. I can't DM you on here, so yeah, just hit me up in the group chat, okay? Hit me up in the group chat, and I will reply. Thank you for the mass, or hit up one of our moderators in the group chat.
Legend of Sleepy Holly sent $20. Favorite or most underrated president? Coolidge reads so cool. Dick Nixon too. Christ is king.
Really? This is just like nonsense. Favorite president? I don't know, dude. George Washington?
Common Void sent $20. Someone bring the emperor some clear brow gel.
What's brow gel?
Mark Levin's gynecologist sent $20. The Jews seem to be pinning this deal on Vance. Tucker must be having an IRSM right now. His boy is cooked. Fire emoji.
Yeah, try sounding it
Christian
out.
Bruss sent $20. If Sneeko was actually a gay Muslim, he would have to throw himself off the roof. Mark sent $100. Thoughts on Title IX?
Repeal.
Reflecting Pool sent $50.
Thank you.
Pumpkin Master 67 sent $20. I saw people on Twitter crashing out about your imperialistic ambitions, lol. And I was wondering if it's a bit of something you really want? Imperialism would be based I'd give joking or not. David Lancaster sent $50. I love how you say, do I have time to talk about this next story, or should I just cover it tomorrow? As if there is someone telling you what to do or keeping you from doing the show a little longer. Granny G sent $20. I've been telling my boomer bro who lives in Denver about you. While riding the bus, he met a groiper. Too funny. In Denver.
Wow, that's crazy. In Denver, of all places. Denver's a shithole. I hate Denver. I've only been there once, but I didn't like it. It was weird. And I don't like the altitude thing. That freaks me out. They say, like, it really freaks me out when people say, oh, you're going to run out of breath all the time. It's like, well, I don't want to live somewhere where there's all these, like, physiological status effects. I don't want to go somewhere where breathing the air is like -5 endurance. I don't like that. That, like, freaks me out in my head. I want to live somewhere where I'm at stasis. I don't like all that, so I'm not going to Denver.
Nice Guy Racism sent $1,000.
Ever again. Yo, thank you for the huge super chat. Nice Guy Racism, another donor. Thank you for the massive super chat. 07's in the chat for this guy. God bless you, man. Thank you for all the support. Well, I guess I just appreciate it. I never know what to say because I can't do like a 10x reaction, but God bless you, man. I really appreciate all the support. Nice Guy Racism, one of our strongest soldiers and a good dude.
Johnny Cellphone sent $20. Dasha is way hotter and cooler than Candace. And she actually loves you.
She's married, bro. They're all married. Oh, they're all married. It's impossible. It's impossible. Isn't that always the case? It's like in that movie. Just say yes. But she's married. Dasha, she has a fascination with me. Maybe she relates to me. I don't know. I don't get it. She's too cool for me. She's too cool. She's some hip, trendy girl who's in TV shows in Dime Square. I'm some fucking chud loser from LaGrange Park. I'm some fucking chud with an internet show. some fucking nerd. I would have to be a billionaire for a girl to give me the time of day. I'm some chud. She's some cool socialite. She don't love me like that. She's married to some Chad. I'm sure she's married to some rich Chad. And I'm the dork that, she just sort of has this curiosity with. I'm just the side character dork. Isn't that always the case? It's whatever. That's my plight. But yeah.
Wiggergroy
always out of reach. Maybe in another life.
Wiggergroy $20.
But if my reach should exceed my grasp.
Wiggergroy $20. Loyal autistic Wiggergroy per son may or center left normie daughter that tries to usurp your movement.
Shut the fuck up. It's not even worth trying to figure that one out.
$20. Mo is a huge W. Jews stay seething. Love you nigga. Smart, handsome pause, rich, determined, ambitious. Enough blazing chow.
Okay, thank you for that. True,
Mr.
though.
One Ice Cream sent $100. I like Quentin Tarantino. Hell, I love Quentin Tarantino. I just wish he made good movies.
I don't know what that's a reference to, but thank you for the big super chat. I think he has good movies.
N-Word Slayer sent $20. Laura Loomer ugliest sin son. Crying face emoji.
And she's
crying
crazy.
Face emoji.
She's like actually clinically mentally ill. It's actually disturbing. Watching her talk is like watching a movie about a crazy person. It's disturbing. It's like a creepypasta. She had this tweet today where she's like, she repeats herself over and over and over and over again. She needs medication. She's fucking crazy and scary. They're all like that.
N-Word Slayer sent $20. Wouldn't be surprised if Loomer a trans. Straight up looks like a dude. Crying face emoji. Crying face emoji.
She's just ugly.
Turn 6 million synagogues and Holocaust museums into J. Kerr education camps. Grower $20. DeSantis endorses fish. In 2026 we're just doing anything. In a good state school for poly going into senior year but going to take a year off to focus on my business. America first. Blue wave. Frog emoji. Frog emoji. Frog emoji.
I'm in a good state school for poli-sci. I like how you spelled it P-O-L-Y. You are cooked, brother. Go to trade school. I'm in a good state school, LOL, for poli-sci, P-O-L-Y, by the way. The science of polygons, you fucking idiot. It's political science. It's P-O-L-I, because it stands for political. But I'm taking a year off to focus on my what's your business? What's the business, bro? You gonna buy vending machines, stupid ass? Holy cooked. Holy stupid.
Boy Bone sent $20. The WC and everything has given me hope somehow. Might be bread and circuses, but hope is hope.
What's the WC? I don't know what
Frog
that is.
Groy percent $20. Hey Nick, started watching when Kirk was killed. You helped.
The World Cup?
Frog Groy percent $20. Hey Nick, started watching when Kirk was killed. You helped me to convert from Protestant to Catholic. Guys in the Navy love you.
Was that like a subtle dig? Well, hey, glad to hear it, man. Good for you.
Ryan's
Love
sent
it.
$20. Matched with a girl on Tinder today that was in your classic BU. Then she unmatched me when I said I was a big fan of the show.
Really? How do you know? How do you know she was in my class? How did you get on the subject? Well, BU is very liberal, so that doesn't surprise me if she unmatched. I was not well liked over
Matthew
there.
7:1-2 ESV sent $20. For with the judgment you pronounce you will be judged, and with the measure you use it will be measured to you.
Very
Chicago
true.
area Catholic
Love
sent
that
$50.
Bible.
Was on your flight from Newark back to Chicago a few weeks ago. We'll say hi next time. FYI, sister of a close friend of mine came back to the church and changed her life because of your show. Thank you.
Wow, love to hear that. Awesome. You were spying on me on the plane. I love that. That always freaks me out when people are like watching me and then don't say anything. It's a little creepy, but that's okay. Yeah, next time say hi, I guess.
Bug on plan number 2 sent $20. I see you.
Very good.
Him just a girl sent
Nice
$100.
callback.
The Lord is with you, mighty warrior.
So true. Thank you for the big super chat.
HQSC
Appreciate
sent $50.
it.
Tucker insists Christianity forbids blood guilt. The Bible opens with humanity gaining an eternal curse for disobeying God. Matthew conspicuously includes his blood be on us and on our children.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Glazing Groper sent $20. My grandmother loves your clips and edits. She's in her 80s, very with it for her age. Super red pill. She's touring in for the first time tonight. You're a favorite in this household.
Aw. That's very sweet. Very nice. I love to hear that. We love the grandmas tuning in to the live show. I hope she liked it. I hope it's not too raunchy. Hope she likes it in its full form. That's very sweet. I have a soft spot for the moms and the grandmas. Love that. And we love her. Good for her that she's with it, watching the clips. She must be very cool. Must be a very cool grandma.
MQ Grow percent $20. What do you think are some aspects of high intelligence someone can show? Trying to figure out if I'm the crazy one, or if I'm surrounded by fools.
You're definitely an idiot. I could tell just by reading that you're an idiot. What do you think are some aspects of high intelligence someone can exhibit? You sound like a fucking idiot. You sound like a giant idiot. I'm sort of like the Rick of our friend group. Yeah, don't worry. You're stupid.
Uper Groy percent $20. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bog Walker Groy percent $20.
Likewise.
Shout out to Mama JF. She was brutally key. I mean, went missing 3 years ago today.
I saw that, yeah. Such a tragedy. I mean, such a shame. Whatever happened to her, no one knows. Dude, that's actually crazy. I mean, I love JF. I love JF no matter what. I'll just say I don't really, look, I like JF. I'll say that much. But that's kind of, that's one of those things you just never really know.
MJ Groy percent $22. You ever have to deal with those creepy house centipedes? Heard Chicago has a lot of them.
Yeah, we do have a lot of them, but they're good. They're good. Because they kill spiders. They kill spiders. They kill the other stuff. So you can either have like 100 spiders, you could have like 2 house centipedes. I kill them anyway because they're scary, but yeah, we get a lot of them. We get a lot of them during the summer. Yeah, they're not cool. And they're big.
Retarded Lurker sent $40. Take that, Ben Shapiro.
Nice.
Chicago Groy percent $20. I want a Groy per plushie. Also, I'm Sri PLS, forgive me. Crying face emoji. Folded hands emoji.
For what? I don't know what you're talking
Samantha
about.
sent $100. Smiling face emoji. 2 unrelated curiosities. Answer either, both, or neither if you'd like. What's a stereotype people have about you that's so wrong you find it hilarious? And what's something you've become unexpectedly sentimental about that would make younger you give you the side eye? Dizzy emoji.
Sentimentality, huh? Stereotype that's wrong about me? I don't know, dude. What are some stereotypes about me? I don't think there are stereotypes about individuals, just like maybe misconceptions, you could say. I don't know. No one really gets me. No one understands me. Nobody understands me. I'm like Shinji. Everybody gets me so wrong. Something I'm unexpectedly sentimental about. I don't know. I'm not a very sentimental person. On very rare occasions and with very sparingly few things. I don't think I'm very sentimental at all. So
6 or 7 mil sent $100. With a new camera, you might mug Clav.
I don't know. I might be giving him a run for his money. He's definitely taller than me. Maybe at this point a little more muscular. One point he was huge. Now, not so much. I don't know. Maybe I'm catching up a little bit. I don't think I mog him, though. He's definitely better looking. His hair's better. He's taller. Probably better looking, pound for pound, but. And he's recovering, so it's going to be a nuke. It's going to be a true.
Austin Powers GM sent $50. I posted my slaughter of PBD's fake Catholic grifter brand on my Twitter at MerricksGenX420. My gift to you, hope you enjoy. I ask nothing in return but Plaza message me. You got so much zeal, Nick, get aggressive.
I ask nothing other than you watch my stupid fucking video and you text me. Oh, other than that. Oh, that's all?
Spencer Dixon sent $100. Would you pop out to the Ye concert in Chicago? Do you think he'll ever hit you up again, or is that era maybe over?
Thank you for the big super chat. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if they'll even let him do it.
Your dad sent $20. I know you think it's cute to lie about starting earlier, but it isn't. And quit fluffing that Clav freak.
Okay, shut up. I'm trying. It's just hard for
6
me.
or 7 mil sent $100. Nick, you were a family show. You reunited me with a cousin I haven't talked to in 7 years.
Wow. That's crazy. Family reunion. It's like that song. Thanks for the big super chat. Appreciate
Keep the
it.
Case Go sent $500 for the movement.
Oh, thank you very much for the huge super chat. 07's in the chat for the movement. Absolutely. The movement grows. The movement grows stronger all the time. Thank you for the massive super chat. I appreciate it. 07.
Feminofide sent $1,000. W Nick for your sacrifices. Godspeed. Raised fist emoji.
Thank you for the massive super chat. Who is Femina Fides? These girls, how do these girls have money like that? Damn, these are some rich foids. What do these women do for a living? Thank you for the huge super chat, 07's. Like North Miami Groipet, Femina Fides. It's like, since when? So many sugar moms. Blushing emoji? Sugar mom? Foyd's giving me... I'm like Aeneas. It's like these rich women are... They're just like reaching down from their ivory tower to help me win the battle. I'm like a hero in the Greek epic. Well, that's a Roman epic, I guess, but I'm like a hero in an ancient story. Powerful women reaching down, giving me a hand up. Thank you so much. I appreciate the huge super chat. People are saying OnlyFans. No, it's not. I don't think it is OnlyFans. Sophie Rain, if you can hear me, please give me $1 million. Sophie Rain, if you could hear me, please give me $1 million. I'm a really nice guy, I promise. Dude, she was bad as fuck. Did you see her at the fashion show? Some people are saying she's not all that. It's like, bro, she is. Just stop the LARP. Anyway. Appreciate it, Sophie Rain, if you could hear me. Help us free America.
Joe Kamaz sent $20. Love seeing MAGA cope by mischaracterizing the context of $300 billion to Iran, then calling it fake. Smiley face emoji.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
PNW Sparky 2021 sent $20. Buy armor, train with your tools, be proficient with your tools, learn new skills like medical response, and build a community where you can support each other. The power of resilience is in our hands.
Holy LARP. Medical response. What do you think is going to be happening, bro? If they want to kill us, they're just going to like explode a drone on your neck. They're going to send a mosquito-sized drone to puncture you with an AIDS needle. And you're like, learn medical response. Like, dude, what do you think this is? You're like one of these Antifa LARPers. It's like, get him some milk. Get him some milk. He got hit with tear gas. Medic. Medic. Like, dude, we're not little bro.
Nathan Force sent $20.
He doesn't like that.
Hi, Nick. I wish the world for what you're doing. What would you want for the movement if you were to leave for heaven? Thank you.
I don't really love
Veteran
that.
Groiper sent $25.
I'll live forever.
Veteran Groiper sent $25.
I'm not going anywhere, pal. I ain't going anywhere.
Veteran Groiper sent.
I hope.
Veteran Groiper sent.
I'm not going anywhere. Knock on wood.
Veteran Groiper sent $25. Thanks for helping me quit weed and porn. I appreciate everything you do. Going to Ukraine in the fall to get back in the game.
Well, don't do that. Why would you do that? You're going to quit weed to go die for Ukraine? What? I'm glad to hear you quit weed and porn, though. WU, no junk, no garbage.
DOXED $50. Got my first brand deal for YouTube. We getting rich. We getting famous.
Love it. Good for you, man. God bless. Everybody getting rich out here. You fat, you ugly, and you broke. You fat, you ugly, and you broke. We all rich out here, and I fucked a white bitch in Paris last night.
Reek Dovin sent $20.
Remember that one? I hate that because it's like race mixing degeneracy, but it is hilarious.
Reek Dovin sent $20. Musical note emoji. My love has got no money. He's got his strong beliefs. My love has got no power. He's got his strong beliefs. Musical note emoji.
Okay.
Artist it sent $20. I'm with the kid that said these PPL need to be taken down. It's getting old, ridiculous. They can do what they want in the US.
What? Oh, the guy? Yeah,
JF Goretti sent $20. Your girl is going into the woods, never to be seen again.
She ran away. She ran away. I mean, it happens.
Dan Kazarian sent $1.
Your wife ran away last night. That's like when you tell a kid they're like, dog ran away. I hate to say it, but your wife ran away last night. Yeah, we tried to find her, but
Dan Kazarian sent $100. Great show tonight. You were locked in, King. Excellent commentary on the Cornell kid. Lil bro doesn't need to do all of that, and more kids his age should heed your advice. Thanks for sticking your neck out for all us, so we don't have to. Unk.
Hey, thanks for the big super chat. Yeah, I've been taking my creatine again, so I've just really been dialed in. I've just been very dialed in lately, so you know, sometimes you just got to push through.
You for Groiper sent $20. Best show in the past 3 months.
Whoa.
God be with you.
Oh, what? All the other shows were shit? Is that what you're saying?
Michael Big Mike Concho sent $20. I guess Palantir really can find the Groipers.
Very good.
Michael Big
Well
Mike
done.
Concho sent $20. A fish in motion stays in motion. Fish emoji.
Indeed.
Be Ready F sent $50. Amazing episode. Have you seen Senator Rick Scott trying to cancel Ye in Tampa?
I have, yeah.
Definitely not a goy sent $20. It's self-reinforcing. If the employer didn't want to dox him, what is he going to do? Make an enemy of a Palantir billionaire?
I'm not sure the point
Arma
you're
Groiper
making.
123 cent $20. What do you think of the take that the Mo looks like an L but quietly makes the U.S. the global swing oil supplier? Hormuz equals permanent risk premium because of Iran. Buyers shift to U.S./Canada. U.S. equals new OPEC.
That's just total cope. That's the biggest cope of all time.
UW sent $250. Nick, you crushed it tonight. Truly a top tier show.
Yo, thank you for the huge super chat. Thanks a lot. I'm glad you liked the show tonight. I really appreciate
Dad Jokes
that.
sent $100. First super chat. Hi, hope you are doing well. Thank you for the insight on so many issues. I watched Crowder for 10 years, was all in on Trump. You unveiled the cope with succinct clarity. Voting for Fishback as a Florida resident, and I've got
Let's
my HVAC
go.
buddies in other states voting blue 2026. Tie.
Well, make sure if you're voting in Florida, register as a Republican. If you're voting in Florida in the primary, you need to be registered Republican to vote, so make sure to do that. But thank you for the big super chat, man. Love to hear it.
Heisman 12 sent $20. Protect your neck. Beverage box emoji. Beverage box emoji. Beverage box emoji. Beverage box emoji.
Great song. Great song. Love
Willie
that
Nail
song.
sent $100. Even Emily Campano's vitriol towards this kid was repulsive. This 19-year-old kid deserves to have his life ruined as a militant line of thinking just to prove an allegiance to these people. Disgusting LARPing Christian. Fox News or not.
So true. Thanks for the big super
Vanity/suffering of
chat.
life sent $100. It's so sad because you lay it out so clearly and concisely, but the masses will never be able to fully grasp it. They need Candace Owens and Dean Carroll levels of gossipy conspiratorial bullshit to pretend to understand the issues. It's all so simple, but goyim be goyim.
Goyim be goyim. Niggas be niggaing. Goyim be goying. It's true, sadly. Our people are ignorant. We need to help
The
them.
White Rabbit sent $20. Greatest monologue of the millennium.
Thanks.
Canadian sent $20. Nick PLS save us the Jeet invasion. India-based extortion gang sent letter to Canadian police warning it had 1,000 gunmen.
Really? That's kind of awesome.
Subject matter sent $50. Do you think Tucker would ever dissuade his audience from voting red in 28 if they try and run Rubio instead? He could be digging himself into a hole blaming everything on neocons alone.
Let's just not with that.
Chaotic Roy sent $20. Trump saying Israel wouldn't exist without the USA while they cry about the MOU being signed has been beautiful to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Homie sent $20. Kiddo failed to hide his power level and let it get the better of him. All he needed to do was decline and keep it moving.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for stating the obvious. Oh, that kid shouldn't have said that. Then he would have been okay. Holy, just like missing the point. Like, yeah, obviously.
Licks Nico sent $20. Could they have faked the signing of the MO publicly to see if it would bait an Israel strike in Lebanon before it was final?
I doubt it.
Weedman Bad.
Because they could do it anyway.
Weedman Bad sent $20. Shows like tonight make you the GOAT.
Thanks.
John Witzel Groiper sent $20. The more I read and learn deeply about real issues, the less I feel the need to always spout my opinions on them.
There you
De
go.
Minimis 3 sent $20. Do you believe that Hoxtit's jiggle? J Pinky sent $20. Monologues like tonight's make me worry for your safety. Uniquely brilliant. First time super chatting. Watched my first Live AF episode 4 days after your ban
Wow.
on D Live. Loyal viewer since. God bless.
Wow. Thanks a lot. I'm glad you liked the show tonight. I appreciate
Midwest
it.
Chud sent $20. Dirty Bulk 6 240 pounds. Chud here heeded your call. Just hit 200 den. Peeled and mogging. Lean is the law. Thanks Nick. Great show.
Lean is the law. The whole of the law is lean. Lean will be the whole of the law. Lean will be the whole of the law. Only lean. Be lean, and that's it. I love lean. Yeah, please be skinny. I hate disgusting fatties. I need everybody to be lean.
Just a girl sent $500. Dear Nick.
Do it for me. Do it for the show. Do it for America.
Just a girl sent $500.
Gotta be
Dear Nick.
lean.
Thank you for saying everything you do, and for all the sacrifices you've made. God bless you and your family. Shout out to the Groy Pets and my husband EHC. We support you 100%.
Hey, thank you for the massive super chat. Oh, husband, huh? So she's got a husband. Oh, she has a husband. Thank you for the massive super chat. I really appreciate it. God bless you and your family as well. You and your husband. I love you and your husband and all the good times you're having together, all the laughs you share, and that's just really terrific and wonderful, and I'm so happy for you guys. Couldn't be happier for you and your 6 foot tall, conventionally attractive, normal Bob husband. It's amazing. Life can be so beautiful. So thank you for the, no, but I'm kidding. Thanks for the big super chat. Appreciate all the support.
Bug on your plant sent $20. Hey man, turn around. I'm right behind you. User
Another
1257456 sent $20. I want to get kinky. I think Persia will let me. Upgrade sent $100.
Thank you for the big super
Brazilian
chat.
jump instructor sent $100. W Persia.
Thank you for the big
Air
super
Groiper sent
chat.
$20.
True.
Thoughts on Leadership Institute? Doing their youth leadership school. Might have to lie on your name NGL. Don't want Joe Lonsdale to kill me. I'll always be loyal though. RKD4NJF.
Yeah, infiltrate. Do it. Do it. Make connections. Infiltrate, but just don't say you're a Groiper.
Minnesota Groiper sent $20. Just accepted. Your friend is going.
That's true. I accept it. Solitude.
Monster Mike sent $100. EU Parliament chanting send them back is an interesting turn of events. I bit my lip in envy.
I saw that. That was awesome. Yeah, we'll see if it turns in anything.
Heart of the Wolf sent $20. I'm a libertarian, by the way. Been watching you way more than Dave lately. I appreciate your energy, attitude, and top-tier analyses.
Thanks. Oh, hey, you hear that, Dave? Little competition. Little friendly competition.
Name A331 sent $20. I offered a mass for you.
Thank you very
Listen
much.
Spencer sent $20.
It's working.
At this rate of procrastination, you will be doing a morning show by next week.
Ah, very good.
Silicon Grower sent $22.
Very hilarious.
Anthropic Fable? AI is getting nationalized. The best models aren't CEO controlled. Who wins AI wins the future. AFAI Lab when?
Ah, yeah.
Prodigal
We'll do an
Grower
AI
sent $20.
thing, yeah,
Did you see Vance on The View has making his rounds? He will bend the knee again. Democrat in midterm. Love you, Nick. Happy for merch. Stealth Black sent $25.
Cool.
I said, the real favor. Follow my advice and fire your fucking ass because a loser is a loser.
True.
Israel, you played yourself.
So true.
I like Hitler sent $20. Polisk. You know, Jesus was a carpenter.
Oh, God.
Demon 786 sent $20. Millennial dad with a skinny son gonna take $100 bucks from my cigar budget and join rich nigga club.
Oh, like that guy should be a carpenter. Nice. Millennial dad with the skinny with the skinny son. Gonna take $100. Very good. Love to hear it, man. Appreciate the super chat. W Millennial Dad. W Millennial Dad.
Off the comp 4,000 sent $20.
My dad's a boomer, but I love him anyway. Even though he's a boomer, I still love him like I would any other dad. Even though he's a boomer. No, I'm kidding. Boomers are the best dads, I think, because boomers are still old school. Gen X got a little gay. I know some of my friends, their dads are Gen X, and they like Radiohead and comic books and video games, and it's like, I get if you like that as a young guy, but as like your dad, you want your dad to have been in like a gang and like a rock band. So, yeah, so I think boomers the best, because boomers are still like, boomers are just funny. They just have this ancient sensibility. So we love that.
Brazilian monkey sent
So
$20.
we love that.
Nigga is not Shinji. Crying face emoji. Crying face emoji.
I kind of am in a way. I kind of am. I was forced to get in the robot. Nobody understands me. Other reasons. I'm very similar to
Off the comp
Shinji.
4,000 sent $20. Are you taking work off for Juneteenth? I really hope not. I need a Friday show.
I don't know. You know what? I think I might.
Equinox sent $20. It's Hitler, yay, Nick, and Jesus.
Very
Donor
good.
with a boner sent $21. Hooked my phone to car Bluetooth to listen to your RAM analysis. Mom out of the blue cranks the volume while driving. Based?
Based mom in a MAGA hat? Based mom department, can I file a claim?
43 sent $20. Groiper? I hardly knew. Legal Eagle Groiper sent $100. Great show.
Thanks, and I appreciate the big super
Diddy sent
chat.
$20.
Thank you.
Call me crazy, but Fishback kinda ruined his chances. He was far too proactive IMO.
And that's not true at all. Look, it's an uphill battle because he doesn't have a political career, no name ID, no money. And Byron Donalds is one of the most connected Republican insiders in America. He's in the Republican leadership in the House. Like, this is a powerful guy. So, and Florida is one of the biggest states in the country, too. So this is a very disadvantageous race. It's not like this was an easy road here. Fishback is polling at about 9%. Yeah, I want him to win. I think everybody should turn out and vote for him. But look, it's a challenging race, and they're not making it easy. They canceled the debate. So, no, I think if anything, Fishback, he went from 1% to 10%, just really sheerly with viral social media and working like an animal doing these in-person events. I totally disagree.
Jesus Christ is King sent $20. If you care very much, I have this, but what do you think about Oliver Tree situation? Right after leaving Atlantic.
Dude, you can't be serious about that. Let's just not even. Right after leaving, yeah, it's like, can anyone die ever? No one dies. If anyone dies, it's a conspiracy. He just left Atlantic. And then what was he going to do? Nuke Israel? What? Tell me. What was he about to do, which is why they killed him? Change the space-time continuum? Charlie Kirk passed him the remote viewing device before he passed? I mean, just fucking stop with that. It's a tragedy. He got in a helicopter in Brazil. Enough said. So sad. We love him, but I mean, this shit happens. Anyway. Okay, that's our last super chat. That's going to do it for me. Remember to smash the follow button, smash the like button, leave a comment. I'm on the air Monday through Friday. As always, thank you to our top super chatters. Huge, massive thank you to Fentanyl is Good for You, Nice Guy Racism, Femina Fides, Tika Sko, Just a Girl, UW, 6 or 7 million, Happy Guy, Nick Polian, Bona Fuentes, Mark, Mr. Ice Cream, I'm Just a Girl, Samantha, Spencer Dixon, Dan Kazarian, Dad Jokes, Willie Nail, Vanity, Upgrade, Brazilian Jump Instructor, Monster Mike, and Legal Eagle Groiper. Thanks to them. Thanks to all our super chatters, everybody that watches. We love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have a great rest of your evening.
Americanism, not globalism, will be